Hello everyone, I'm Kathy, and welcome to the Human Anatomy and Physiology class. Let us start our session with the introduction of human anatomy and physiology. At the end of today's session, you will be able to define anatomy and physiology, discuss the levels of organization in living organisms, state the various organ systems and their functions, describe the mechanism of homeostasis, list anatomical terms to describe body sections, body regions, and body cavities. Our slides contains the following: anatomy and physiology, levels of organization, organ systems and functions, homeostasis, and anatomical terms. What I'd like you to do is take a moment and look at the images. You probably mentioned something about structure, shape, color, uses or purpose. Do we all agree that image A is a house? Yes? Say you probably would like to add divisions inside the house. So you can have a living room, dining room, washroom, bedroom, and so on and so forth. Why? So that you can have a place to sleep, eat, take a bath, and do the rest of the stuff that you would normally do, right? We can use this house to easily associate the concept of anatomy and physiology. Anatomy is basically understanding the structure. From one look, we know that picture A is a house. Then if we want to have a place to sleep, we need to have a bedroom based on its purpose or function. In picture B, we have an X-ray image of a hand. Have you ever wondered on why our hands should have a series of bones connected with each other? Of course, if the shape or structure is just one palm size of bones, how can we use it to grip something? Hence, when you talk about anatomy and physiology, you will often hear the word form fits function. Now let's move to what is anatomy and physiology. Anatomy investigates structure of the body and body parts and its relationship to one another. So basically, you're answering the question, what does it look like? And it talks about structure. And then for physiology, it studies how the body and body parts work. There are two main areas that we have to look on. First would be, how does the body respond to external environment, and how does the body maintain a constant internal environment? So, physiology, normally we would ask how the body and body parts function. Now let's go to the relationship between anatomy and physiology. So remember that we said when we talk about structure, we are talking about anatomy. And when we discuss about functions, we are looking into physiology. And so one affects the other. So structure determines the functions that can be performed. Each of the different parts of our body have a job to do. Sum of all parts and their functions allow our body to operate as a whole. Then let's move to the level of organization in living organisms. As you can see from here, there are 6 levels. Number 1, we have a chemical level, and then 2, we have the cell level, 3 is the tissue level, 4, organ level, 5, organ system level, and 6, organism level. So in the chemical level, what we have are the atoms and molecules. So we have our carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, water, and bigger molecules like DNA. And so atoms combine to form our molecule. And then at the cell level, you have your muscle fibers, neurons, white blood cells, etc. molecules form organelles such as the nucleus and mitochondria, which make up your cells. And then for the tissue level, epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous. And then you have similar cells and surrounding materials make up your tissue. And then from the tissue level, you have an organ level where you have your heart and your brain, and different tissues combine to form organs such as the urinary bladder. Then you have your organ system level where you have your cardiovascular system, nervous system, organs such as the urinary bladder make up the organ system. And then as humans, on an organism level, organ systems make up an organism. As you can see the diagram on the side, it's just basically moving from the chemical level all the way down to the organism level. I have tabulated here the organ system wherein you have your organ system, example of the components and the functions. We have the integumentary system. You have your cutaneous membrane, hair follicles, and your nails, which basically protects underlying tissues from injury and helps in temperature regulation. For the skeletal system, you have the bones and cartilage, which basically supports soft tissues and stores minerals. For the muscular level, you have your skeletal muscles and your tendons, which helps in the locomotion and helps to maintain your posture. For the nervous system, you have brain, spinal cord, and it helps to direct responses to the stimuli. And you have your lymphatic system, wherein you have your lymphatic vessels and nodes, and it helps in our immunity or in our immune system. For the cardiovascular system, you have the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood, which helps to transport blood and that carries oxygen, nutrients, and waste. And you have your respiratory system, composed of your lungs and nasal cavities. These are just examples of the components, and it is involved in gaseous exchange. And then you have your endocrine system. You have your pancreas, pituitary gland, thyroid gland that helps to regulate growth, metabolism, and reproduction. You have your digestive system. Components are your stomach and intestine, helps to process food and absorb nutrients. Then you have our urinary system, where you have your kidneys and your bladder that regulates electrolytes and water and eliminates waste. Then we have reproductive system, wherein you have your testes and your ovaries for the production of offspring, and it produces milk.